Welcome to GH Soap Opera Today, your place for the latest drama, updates, and spoilers from General Hospital. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the action. Spoilers for General Hospital. Brook Lynn is terrified by Isaiah's arrest and is forced to make a difficult decision. According to General Hospital spoilers, Curtis Ashford is adamant about getting Jordan Ashford justice. Although Jordan's crash was her own responsibility, we can understand Curtis's desire to place the blame elsewhere. Curtis won't accept that the other driver didn't pull over to provide assistance. Jordan is equally committed to pursue this and hold someone accountable because ADA Justine Turner is a friend. Regretfully, Curtis is adamant about Isaiah Gannon's culpability and has now directed Justine in that direction as well. In a more recent parking-related mishap, Isaiah actually scraped his SUV, but the scrape will match the marks on the guardrail. According to GH spoilers, Isaiah might have issues after the police investigate. Additionally, Isaiah traveled back into Port Charles for an urgent house call, as Portia Robinson has already acknowledged to Curtis. Isaiah may be in serious jeopardy because to Curtis' pressure and ADA Turner's personal grudge against Jordan. Brook Lynn might feel more guilty than ever if Isaiah is arrested. Tracy Quartermaine has frequently cautioned Brook Lynn about the dangers of confessing to the PCPD, even though she has already been tempted to do so. Being honest might completely ruin Brook Lynn's life and prospects. However, if Isaiah is accused of leaving the scene, Brook Lynn might have to make a difficult decision. Isaiah may end up in handcuffs because Justine is undoubtedly trying to make an arrest. Will Brook Lynn defy Tracy's advice and give herself in if that occurs? Tracy can contend that because Isaiah is a reputable physician who is in a hurry to assist a patient, his accusations won't stand up or that he won't be punished severely. Nevertheless, Brook Lynn is going to die of guilt. Brook Lynn could admit to the police that she was the other driver that evening if the stress of everything gets too much for her to handle. According to General Hospital spoilers, Brook Lynn will have to make some difficult choices, so keep an eye out to see how any shocking revelations about Isaiah might impact her. Spoilers for General Hospital. Does Tracy accept responsibility for the car crash in order to save Brook Lynn? According to General Hospital teasers, Tracy Quartermaine might come forward about the automobile accident and acknowledge that she was the other driver in an attempt to help her granddaughter, Brook Lynn Quartermaine, get out of this difficult predicament. Let's examine this narrative twist, because the Quartermaine matriarch has been BLQ's advisor over this disaster and is very protective of her family. As fans are aware, Brook Lynn has wanted to come forward since learning that Jordan Ashford and Curtis Ashford were involved in a car accident. Jordan got preoccupied and veered into the oncoming lane, while Brook Lynn appeared to be on the same road. Jordan and Curtis wrecked as a result, and BLQ swerved into the guardrail. To be fair, Brook Lynn would have stopped if she had known that Curtis and Jordan had been in a near-fatal collision. Having said that, she was preoccupied with going to Charlie's pub so she could see her son, Gio Palmieri, perform for the first time in a long time despite the darkness. The main explanation for Brook Lynn's prolonged silence is that she took a glass of wine before leaving. Additionally, she had this glass of wine while catching up with Lucy Coe. Tracy instructed Brook Lynn not to call the police as soon as she told her grandmother about her predicament. BLQ has a lot on her plate, and a charge of driving while intoxicated might end her chances of being baby Phoebe's foster mother, as well as any future adoption prospects. Tracy reminded Brook Lynn that although Lucy would be the one to tell PCPD the truth, she might choose not to disclose her alcohol use to the police. Although BLQ followed her grandmother's instructions, the paint evidence discovered on the railing close to the collision might alter the outcome. It's unclear if Brook Lynn was the driver that veered away from Jordan and Curtis's vehicle, but the paint on the guardrail is probably hers. As a result, the police will eventually visit the Quartermaines to do additional research. See, Isaiah Gannon is probably not the culprit, despite what Erdis may believe. When Michael Corinthos recently inquired about the location of BLQ's car, Tracy lied and said that both it and hers were being detailed. Although Brook Lynn's side collision was actually being repaired, may this be a hint as to where the plot is going? Will Tracy come forward and claim that she was the one who drove the car out that evening if the paint from the lab can be linked to Brook Lynn? Will she accept responsibility? What kind of punishment might Tracy receive for this? After all, it has been repeatedly stated that Jordan was at fault and that failing to seek assistance was the real offense. Having said that, BLQ's situation is quite different because she has been drinking wine and is a foster parent who hopes to adopt soon. According to General Hospital spoilers, Tracy may be in a more dire situation than she had anticipated since the consequences of not being a good Samaritan could be far more severe than she had thought. Thursday, April 30th. General Hospital spoilers. Jocelyn informs Brennan of Carly's infidelity, Sonny's dubious job for Ethan. According to General Hospital spoilers, Jocelyn Jacks will bring some unexpected news to Jack Brennan on Thursday, April 30th. Here's what GH viewers may anticipate as Sonny Corinthos appears to have another task for Ethan Lovett. Jocelyn has made a startling disclosure after ambushing Brennan in his suite. Jocelyn said it was too late and that Brennan had already lost her when she implied that Brennan was merely shielding her to maintain his friendship with Carly Spencer. In Thursday's episode, Brennan will be curious about Jocelyn's meaning, so Jocelyn might acknowledge that she has discovered Carly is seeing another man. Jocelyn will undoubtedly make it apparent that Carly has cheated on Brennan with someone else, even if she doesn't mention Valentine Cassadine. Jocelyn will insist that she is telling Brennan the truth, even if he won't want to hear it. Lucas Jones will pay Carly another visit, as Jocelyn raises some red flags for Brennan. Lucas will confront Carly about her infidelity, and what he thinks she should do going forward. In the preview video released on Thursday, Lucas says, "If you can't do this for you, do this for me." Britt Westbourne will receive some unsettling information from Liesl Albrecht. Liesl acknowledges that there have been inquiries concerning Caesar Faison and Nathan West, also known as Cassius Faison. Britt will speak with Cassius urgently after discovering that Jocelyn has been attempting to uncover the truth. Britt will emphasize that Joss is a greater threat than she appears to be, and bring up Cassius' workout with Jocelyn. At first, Cassius won't understand why, but Britt will soon disclose that Jocelyn isn't just some ditzy sorority girl, but a WSB agent. She will try to elicit a response from Ava Jerome by getting under her skin with Lucy Coe. But Rick Lansing might make Ava's day better by implying that she is very happy with what he has to say. On Thursday's broadcast, Ethan will address some suspicions. In order to get Ethan to listen to the specifics of whatever dubious task is coming up, Sonny ought to prepare another job for him. According to General Hospital previews, Ethan might comply with orders, but he will also have some queries for Sonny to answer. General Hospital spoilers. Despite Cassius's impersonation, Lulu falls in love with him. Fan suspicions were validated by General Hospital spoilers, which just disclosed that Lulu Spencer is having an affair with a fake. She is canoodling with Nathan West's hidden twin brother Cassius, without realizing that he is still very much dead. On the ABC soap opera Port Charles, no secrets are safe, and the truth will eventually surface. Will Lulu declare her love for Cassius and end their relationship, or will she reject the twin? Cassius will make a mistake. Many people were curious about Nathan West's resurrection when he came back to life. However, Lulu Spencer started fooling around with Nathan because she was infatuated with her best friend's not-so-dead spouse. Lulu and Nathan are now spending a lot of time together and are keen to formalize their relationship. They have no idea how fleeting their happiness will be. Cassius's preparations were derailed when Maxie Jones emerged from her coma. Nathan West's wife will be the one to discover out he is a scammer. Along the way, the writers have been leaving subtle Easter eggs, such as Nathan's unexpected loss of baseball skills. Maxie could discover the truth now that she is back in Port Charles and engaging with her baby daddy. Jocelyn Jacks is also investigating and believes Nathan West has a problem. Lulu will eventually discover the identity of the imposter as the walls gradually close in on him. Is lovesick Lulu unconcerned? Lulu Spencer is going through a difficult period and feels bad about her relationship with Maxie Jones' spouse. In Lulu's opinion, it could be preferable if it turns out that she is having an affair with Cassius rather than Nathan. Even if Cassius is employed by dubious companies and lied to Lulu, at least she is no longer robbing her best friend's spouse. Their relationship might improve if they discover that Nathan isn't really Nathan. But in order to win Lulu's forgiveness and re-establish his trust, Cassius will need to engage in a lot of sweet talk. When the truth is out, do you think Lulu will remain with Cassius? Will she be content that she doesn't have feelings for the husband of her best friend? When the truth comes out, are you cheering for the couple or do you think they're doomed? GH spoilers. Despite Tracy's bribe, Trina uncovers BLQ's crash secret. According to General Hospital teasers, Tracy and Brook Lynn Quartermain invite Trina Robinson to the Quartermain home for a cookout during the week of April 27th to May 1st. Tracy gives Trina a box when she arrives and Brook Lynn and Tracy need to speak with her. Tracy and Brook Lynn are thrilled, so let's investigate what might be happening. The gift of BLQ. The women might be on a fishing trip, they might want the singer to pose, or they might give her a deception box full of treats. Because with school, singing, and controlling her parents, when would Trina have time to model? Does Trina work as a model? But the Qs always have a plan. Is it possible that they are trying to get information from Trina regarding the crash involving Jordan and Curtis Ashford? Naturally, astute Tracy would toss Trina a bone to dispel her suspicions that she was being questioned. However, if Trina spends too much time with Brook Lynn, Tracy's plan can backfire. The The truth is hidden by BLQ. We witness Trina in conflict if she hears Brook Lynn and Tracy discussing her involvement in the collision. She hasn't said a word about Drew Kane's shooting though, so she can keep a secret fairly well. What would she do though, if she discovered that Brook Lynn had a hand in her mother's accident? After consuming a half-gallon of wine, Brook Lynn continued to drive without realizing there had been an accident. Brook Lynn was intoxicated. Because she fears losing Phoebe's foster placement, BLQ hasn't come forward. She's even lying to Harrison Chase. Remember that if Curtis accuses Isaiah Gannon of driving the other automobile, Trina might speak up if she discovers the truth. In addition to the fact that Portia Robinson is pregnant and doesn't need any more annoyance, even Trina would consider it improper to accuse her partner. Keep an eye out for obstacles in Brook Lynn and Tracy's cover-up scheme, as red-hot General Hospital spoilers suggest. More quickly than anticipated, Ethan's return to General Hospital takes a dark turn. The timing of Ethan's homecoming was uncannily ideal. From the beginning, it was obvious that Ethan's trip back to Port Charles was more than just a get-together. Although Luke and Holly's son always has a trick up his sleeve, Sidwell is the reason why things on General Hospital quickly took a turn for the worse this time. Important lessons. There was much more to Ethan's return than just reunion. It's evident from Ethan's back and forth with Sidwell that he and Sonny are enemies. Ethan's sudden homecoming is still haunted by his enigmatic phone call. Ethan takes up the drama again. It wasn't all joyful reunions with Lulu and Christina when Ethan unexpectedly reappeared in Port Charles earlier this month. He made a menacing phone call that guaranteed his most recent visit to PC before anyone even noticed him. Things began to make sense when he spent some much-needed time catching up with friends and family, including his reunion with Tracy. He knows Sidwell, and Sidwell knows him. Ethan immediately made the decision that he was prepared to eliminate the man who had attempted to kill his mother and sibling after a discussion filled with subtle threats. This brings us to the present. Sonny hired Ethan, who promised to eliminate their common foe. Having another member of his organization with a target against the crime lord is just what Sonny needs because Sidwell has been a pain in his side since he moved to Port Charles. Naturally, that doesn't account for Ethan's enigmatic phone call on the evening of his arrival. Who was on the other end of the line if it wasn't Sidwell and Sonny? What impact will this involvement have on Ethan's new life in Port Charles? A significant moment for another Spencer, Lulu, is hinted at in General Hospital teasers for April 29th. What specifically makes her lose her temper when she is upset? Most likely it has to do with Rocco and the secret he must keep. Rocco is kept at a distance by Britt from General Hospital, and it seems deliberate. Britt is aware that Rocco is an extremely risky area. Rocco from General Hospital is completely over his head. Will he listen to Britt's attempts to assist him, or will he put himself in even greater danger? Important lessons. At last, Rocco admitted to Britt that he had shot Cullum. Rocco was discovered looking into Cullum's medical chamber. Britt was terrified about Rocco and lost it when she saw what he was doing. For his own sake, she asked Rocco to avoid her. Rocco is a complete mess. In an instant, Rocco changed from being a typical adolescent to carrying the entire world on his shoulders. He was asking Britt for guidance on a medical program one minute and shooting a WSB agent the next. Jason repaid Rocco for saving his life by accepting responsibility for shooting Cullum. To keep Rocco safe, the only people who were supposed to know the truth were Lulu and the fictitious Nathan. The poor child told Britt the truth because he couldn't bear the guilt. She is now doing her hardest to protect him and safeguard his secret. Unable to resist, Lulu's kid peered into Cullum's hospital room. It is not a good idea. The WSB double agent is astute, and even the smallest action will make him suspicious. He wants to know who shot him, since he is certain that Jason did not. Britt is a complete mess. It's difficult for Britt to maintain composure. She is compelled to assist Cullum and Sidwell in completing her father's last project. She is concerned about Jason, is aware that Cullum killed Marco, and now divulges Rocco's secret. That's a lot to handle. When Britt noticed Rocco staring into Cullum's window, she went crazy. When Rocco is taking such a risky action, how can she protect him? It was a panicked response to yell at Rocco and grasp his arm. Unfortunately, Elizabeth had to witness it. Although she is in love with the boy she gave birth to, she is aware that he must avoid her in order to protect himself. She is only defending him since anyone close to her is in danger, even though Rocco was obviously distraught when she begged him to leave her alone. I hope he will follow her advice, but it doesn't seem likely. Do you believe Rocco would be better off avoiding Britt? Fans of General Hospital are troubled by Kirsten Storm's actions. Fans of General Hospital are worried about Kirsten Storm's, but this time it has nothing to do with Maxie Jones, the character she plays. Fans of General Hospital are concerned about Kirsten Storm's conduct. Rather, it's because she shared some extremely private and delicate information on her social media page. The actress recently acknowledged that her flat had been broken into. And although that is undoubtedly upsetting enough, many people are questioning whether Kirsten is making the proper choices because of what she posted. I received a few direct messages and read some comments from former employees and residents with helpful information, she wrote on Instagram. The building posted an eviction notice on my apartment door after I reported the break-in to the police and kept trying to talk to someone from the leasing office about it without getting a response. The internet did, of course, have a lot to say about the issue. I saw that she posted about the eviction note last night, said one commenter. She posted the apartment building's name and the county, thus I find it absolutely absurd that the ad is still up. Finding the address required a 2-second Google search. She needs to relocate immediately because she is a star, or else she will be in even greater danger. What is actually happening with Kirsten Storms? Yeah, it seems like she really needs someone to help her, said another critic. I actually worry about her. Maxie hasn't been a major character on this show in years, and it's clear that the producers support her, was another comment. Some of the commentators here should realize that the program has moved on and acknowledge her status. Thanks for watching GH Soap Opera today. For more General Hospital updates and spoilers, like, comment, subscribe, and press the bell icon. See you next time.